Everyone ready? Yeah. Okay, we are going to be doing our science experiment. So on page 34, it says that this is your yeast experiment. We're pretty excited. Cool. All right, so we're going, can you read step 1 for us, James?
Place the following amount of sugar in the cup. Cup A, 9. Cup B, 1 stick. Cup C, 1 tablespoon.
All right, so I have my cool possum sugar cane. Yes, Isaac. Yes, it's going to be a teaspoon. So I'm going to just put a tiny bit. That was more than a tiny bit. 1 teaspoon. All right, just as you guys know, we have teaspoons, and it's TSP. And then you have tablespoon, which usually has a capital T, and it has a B. Okay, just so you know, because teaspoons are small. So I'm going to take 1 teaspoon. And I'm going to be putting that in cup C. And then in my cup B, I'm just going to put a pinch. There is a pinch. So I just put a little bit in there. So we can see just a little bit. All right, so we did step 1. I put some sugar in there. Jacob, what is the next thing we're going to do?
The next thing you're going to do is place 1 tablespoon of yeast.
All right, so now in each cup. So we're going to put the same amount of yeast in each of my cups. So again, our tablespoon is bigger. It has a B in there. It has a capital T traditionally. So now in our experiment, we have our control. So we're controlling by putting the same amount of yeast in each one, but we're putting different amounts of sugar. Okay? So that is our variable, because it changes. All right. What are we, so I have my yeast, it's a little brown. Okay? Next, what are we going to do next, Natalia?
We're going to add 40 milliliters of water, warm water to each cup.
All right, so I have some warm water here. I have my graduated cylinder. So I'm going to be putting 40 milliliters. Now, just like at home, I'm not going to pour it over the electronics because that just seems dangerous. Yeah. All right. So when you're measuring things, you want to hold it up to your eye level or move your eye down so that way you can make sure it's straight. So I have 40 milliliters for the first one. And again, this is a control variable because it's staying the same. We only want one thing to change in experiments. Otherwise, we don't know the cause. 40. And then the last one. 40. What is the next step, Lorenzo? All right, so I'm going to pretend this is my wooden spoon. And I'm going to stir it up so that way everything, the sugar, water, and yeast get mixed up. All right, what is our next step, Kyriel? All right, so now here is everyone's favorite part about science. We have to wait.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what happens in a few minutes.
Oh, minutes?
All right. Okay, so we're going to look at it in a few minutes. Okay, so while we're doing that, if you guys could move back to your seats.